Hello everyone and welcome to a new Illustrator tutorial. So today we're going to be designing this poster here. Actually, funny story about this poster, this actually is a small part of like this sketchbook poster I've made. So I'm going to just show you. So the day before this one I published a video of the process of me designing this sketch, like really random. I didn't have a plan when I was designing this one. I was just designing on the flow, like something in half an hour, and then I screen recorded it, and then I just posted on YouTube. Although I think this is a really good exercise when you just design with no like objective. You just smash shapes together and hope for the best most of the time. But on this one actually, like, it was a very like detailed poster, but the simplest part was this one here. And I was just like, you know what, I really like this part here. I think this is a very strong visual, and I think there is something here. Like, from the entire poster, I think this was a part that I really liked. And then I was just like, you know what, I think just this by itself is a poster. Like, it's beautiful enough to be just a very cool image that I can share how to design. So let's go. So we're gonna be designing this poster, and the first thing we need to do is just like go to new and create a new document. I'm going to use a 1700 by 2400 and press create. Perfect. Next thing I'm going to do, actually I left the colors here in case you want to use the same colors as I did use for this poster, which is really cool. And let's go. I'm going to copy these colors and I'm going to paste them here. Great. So the first thing we want to do is create a background. I'm going to use a rectangle tool here. I'm going to make a really nice rectangle, the same size of our artboard. I'm going to apply a gradient, and then I'm going to change the gradient to point gradient like this. And then actually, should I just try? No, I'm going to use this so do something new. I'm going to just click here, and then I'm going to use the colors from the colors I just shared. I can't remember which colors I use in which place, so it's probably going to be a tad different from the reference, but the techniques are the same. So you can just follow this and you're going to achieve a result pretty close to that one. Cool. So I just made like a very simple point gradient here. Normally I like to constrain myself of just having like 4 points or 3 points max. So because if you start adding a lot of points, then the gradients start creating like this like edges on them, and then if you can control them with this, but then I think you need to create like a rule. So you just like use less and create like something cool. I think 4 is already a little bit of some points, but I think we can work with 4 points easily. Let's just maybe move these. Maybe I want to scale this up a little bit. Perfect. So the next thing we want to do is go into our toolbar here and get a rectangular grid tool. Let's click twice so I can actually open the rectangle grid tool options. We can leave it like as the resolution it is right now, and I'm going to change this for 10 horizontal dividers by 10 vertical dividers. Press OK, and then just draw a really nice grid here, something like this. Let's add like a really nice stroke to it. I'm gonna leave it at 1 point, but you can actually make it like maybe 2 points. If that's not too thick, I think this probably 2 points will be alright. Maybe I'll change to 1.5 actually. 1.5. Cool. Next, I think I had some like spheres. Yeah, I did have some spheres. I'm gonna get the ellipse tool here. I'm going to make a really nice cool sphere perfectly like that. Just zoom in really quick to scale it up a little bit, maybe a little bit smaller. Great. Then using the rectangle tool here, I'm going to make a really nice rectangle like this, and then I'm going to apply a gradient. I'm going to make it what's the name? This one is linear gradient, sorry. Just try to remember the name. Make it 0% here, change the orientation to 90 degrees. And I'm going to change that color to something more custom. I'm going to change this color to our nice blue here. Perfect. I'm going to zoom in, push this right click and push this sphere into front, leave it like that, and select these two and make like a really nice composition with them. Just make it like something like this, another here, and another one here. Just try to create like maybe not so linear composition, maybe something like this. You want to make this as interesting as you can. Be sure to use the grid in your favor, so like you make sure that like these spheres touch the grid, so it creates a little bit of like structure. Perfect. The next thing we have is just a few spheres on the side. You're actually going to make a really nice sphere using your ellipse tool here. Scale it up. And then let's, using the direct selection tool, select these corner points here and just delete them. Actually, let's just do this with another way. Just get our rectangle grid tool here. Make a really nice rectangle over it. And then using the shape tool here, we're gonna hold Alt to make delete. And delete this one as well. And let's just change this direction of the gradient a little bit, because we are using actually the same gradient as here. So you can just use the eyedropper tool to get it. Let's scale this a little bit more. Actually, if you actually create two depths, it will be nice actually, because it's kind of transparent. So I'm gonna make like something more like this. And then I'm gonna just duplicate it using Alt, rotate this, and make on this side as well. And then I actually added a few details using some like shape tools here, ellipse tool, going to add like a really nice ellipse, and then make like a little bit more detail on with it. Just add it a little bit more. And trying to make this a little bit more interesting. Again, using the grid in my favor, trying to match the grid like size there. And here too, let's just be sure we actually create like a rule. And same thing here. Maybe here we can actually scale this a little bit further, maybe. Something like this. And yeah, let's see if this is close enough to that thing. The colors are a little bit different, but there is like a nice blue here. I don't know what, my blue is not that nice. Let's just check the gradient. Maybe I should just, yeah, okay, nice. Just push the blue a little bit down and it looks nicer. And then just like select the background again, make a copy, go to edit, copy, edit, paste in place. And then apply a nice color. Let's apply like a black. Then let's go to effects, texture, grain. And you're gonna use like a really nice grain. Let's just zoom out of this grain really quick. So I'm using the stippled grain here, and then I'm leaving it 40 intensity and contrast at 50. Let's see if we put 100. What's happening in this contrast? Maybe not much happening. So let's just leave it at 50 then, and just press OK. Let's just wait for the grain to apply to the shape, and then go with the grain selected. Let's go to opacity and then use screen mode. And perfect. Maybe it's a little bit too strong, so I'm going to reduce the opacity here, maybe to 50%. See if we like, yeah, perfect. So we like this. And actually, I forgot to check. Let's just be sure it's our grid central element actually is selected. I'm gonna just, not selected, it's actually centered. That's what I meant. I'm gonna select all of these elements and then go right click and group them and make sure they are perfectly centered like this. And yeah, this is pretty much it. I'm gonna just unlock a few things here that are locked. Let's just change this. Can I select this one now? No. Okay, let's just lock this layer and just push this one to the front. And yeah, it's pretty much it. I'm gonna unlock this one again. Just scale it down a little bit to give like some like white borders on it. And yeah, I think this is it. Well, I hope you enjoyed. And I hope you took some value from this or learned something anyway. And if this is the first time you're watching this channel, please be sure to like this video, subscribe and share. Cheers. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.